Alright guys, what is up and welcome back to Garry's Mod. Today we'll be taking a look at the Gib Light mod. So what is that, you're probably asking? Well, if you guys do remember, we've taken a look at a few Gib/gore mods in the past. Quite a few actually. And this is by TFA. He makes some amazing add-ons and I figured we'd take a look at it. It's pretty much going to be your essential gore mod/Gib mod, except it's going to be light on the hardware. So it's not going to crash very often. So let's see exactly how well this works, and I'll go over all the different features and settings you can go through, as well as the different modes you can go through. So without further ado, if anyone suggested it, they'll be down below. Thanks for suggesting. If you want to suggest a mod, do so in my Discord or in the comment section down below. Without further ado, let's get on to the overview. Alright, so here is the Gib Light mod, and sorry if you guys hear any noise in the background. People are going nuts with those fireworks. But what we have here is a few Odessas lined up, and I'm going to display exactly what this mod is capable of. Once again, there are plenty of settings to change in the options tab. In fact, I'll show you guys that real quick. Go ahead and hold Q, go into the options panel, and you'll find LiteGibs options. Go ahead and click the effects tab, and you will find a few options you can change. So right now I have it at default, but you can of course change these settings as you would. There's even an ultra setting here too if you want to go with that, which turns everything all the way up, which I would highly recommend. We're going to stick with ultra, but I'll go ahead and show you what happens when you hit the NPC. You'll see they have wounds, so that is what is called a wound texture right there. And you can kind of see inside the body there, and it's pretty sweet because they have like organs and they have the whole skeletal structure down. And then eventually they will die. And now I'll show you what happens when you hit him in the head. So you see he has quite a injury there. We can see into his head, even into his brain. And you're probably thinking, well, his head's not exploding. Well, that's because of a few things. But before we continue, let me go ahead and show you guys what happens when you start the game up. You get these three different options. You can choose bloody, brutal, and ludicrous. I'm going to show you guys side by side what all three of these look like. So without further ado, here's exactly what they look like. This is bloody, which is the most basic one. This is brutal, which is the next level up. And last up, we have ludicrous, and this one is so graphic, it even gives you a warning before you have to fully accept it, so please be wary. Demonetized. So you'll see this one has a bit more extra flair, but here's a good overview of what they all look like. Now, in the basic one, which I probably should have put this one to the far left, but we do see that it did decapitate his head, but it didn't explode it because it's not exactly super gruesome, unlike this one which splattered his head, and this one as well. Now honestly, between these two there doesn't seem to be too much of a difference. I'm guessing the difference won't be very easily seen within the demonstration that we did. But that's a brief overview, so before we waste any more time, let's go now into the in-depth features and I'll show you guys what we can really do with this mod. Alright, so first things first, I want to show you guys exactly what happens when you hit him in the head once more. So that's a live demonstration right there. You can see their brain and just explodes, and it's pretty nasty. I'm gonna get demonetized. It's a fact. But I don't care about money. So here's what happens. So first things first, we have a few pretty cool models. If I can just showcase it once more. We have an eyeball floating around there, and this is a really cool thing. If you walk through the gibbed parts, you can see that they move out of the way as if you're stepping over them or kicking them around. So that's a pretty cool little feature. Now, one thing I will note is that it's going to be a huge drawback, but this is really the core of this mod, and this is what makes it light. You cannot interact with the bodies after you've killed them. It doesn't let the player directly interact with them, but instead they will interact with the world. In fact, it's so severe that you can't even pick it up with the fizz gun because the player cannot interact with these things any longer. Thus the name LiteGibs, but I'm looking past that because this is such a very well made add-on. I'll go ahead and show you now what happens when you shoot him in the foot. So this is again what I really love. I love this wound system. Now it is a little weird because if you kind of look, you know, it's kind of just like a little filter blob, and if you look around you can actually see like through the body in a way that you wouldn't think would be possible, but it does give the illusion of a wound. Like if you look at this right here, it does look like I shot off a chunk of his kneecap or something. And again, you cannot really fully interact with their bodies once they're down. But let's go ahead now and shoot him in the chest, and we do see that wound in the chest, and the interaction is pretty realistic. This is a very macabre mod, so I do warn you guys, it's very graphic. Alright, so we're not getting the results I want. I wanted brutal, nasty, gruesome, and we're going to get that now. Because what I'm going to do is change the settings. So even though we have all these on, I'm going to go ahead and just extend these one by one all the way up. Not all the way up because I don't want to crash the game or something, but I am going to go a little crazy with this. So now let's see what happens. Alright, so that time we got a decapitation, and we got the blood streams from both ends. Looks really good. You can kick around his head if you wanted. Oh, that's a little weird. Now, even though this is a light mod, if you have enough things out on the field, it can get very laggy very quickly, so I do warn you about that. Now, you're probably asking, why are we on this map? Well, I wanted to go back to the good old days, like how we did with the old Gib mods that we took a look at. Now, with a few of these, they work pretty well, as you can probably see. So here we have, yeah, a whole piece of his upper torso. And then we have this left. Very nasty mod, legit. So let's go ahead and see now how they interact with explosives. Let's go ahead and toss a grenade here, see what happens. It totally missed. That's okay, because I actually did want to test this out anyway. Let's see how the buzzsaw will... Alright, that was a little bit more dramatic than I thought it was going to be. They pretty much exploded. I do want to demonstrate that you can cut them in half. I was going to get a sword mod, but... Alright, so that's not exactly what I wanted, but you guys get the point. Okay, once more. Let's do that just one more time. If you cut them in the right spots, you can just completely rip their limbs off. Maybe I have the damage multiplier up just a little bit too high. There we go. Cut him directly in half. Look at that. That is crazy. So if you do have a sword, it'll work even better than this, but the crowbar works just fine. Let's go ahead and try this thing. This thing looks pretty fun. We're just kind of winging it here. Oh my god. So this is a very good mod to use here, and yes, you can kill yourself, and yes, you are also affected by the LiteGibs mod as well. In fact, I want to go ahead and show you guys something. Someone suggested, in fact a few people did, that I take a look at this player model. So you guys know I always play as the charcoal, because I am the charcoal. This is actually what I look like. What you're looking at right now is just the skin I have over my face, but this is really me. So the cool thing about this is that I have a sword, and this is me on vacation. So someone actually did follow me around and take pictures and decided to upload a model of it. So this is pretty cool. Thanks, man. Okay, no, but seriously, this is a really cool mod. I love this player add-on. I'll be using this from now on. I don't know why I have a sword, but I do, apparently. Alright, so what about this? So I want to show off the cannon here, but the cannon doesn't really work exactly all that well, but we're going to try it anyway. You know what? Let's load in two different things. We're going old school Gmod here, guys. We're not really... Oops. Alright, what I was saying is we're gonna go old school Gmod here. You know how we just kind of like wing it and just see what happens and have fun with the video. Oh my god! So that was a little aggressive, but that's what happens when you get hit with the fridge going at like 100 and something miles an hour. You can see a bit of his, I believe, what is that? His lower part of his spine. Very high quality Gibs, in fact, so high quality that it's a little disturbing. Okay, I'm going to get my channel removed from this. Hopefully not, but let's go ahead and shoot an RPG. What'll happen? A bloodbath. That's what's going to happen. Alright, so this is a very gross mod, guys. I have to warn you once more. If you're not ready for this, well, too bad, because we're doing it, and you're already here. So, anyway, let's go ahead and try this thing out. This looks like a pretty fun machine. Okay, whatever that brain's made out of, I don't even want to know. But, oh, there we go. Guys, I'm about to do something that I've been waiting to do for a very long time. I am in a vehicle with a spinning sort of grinder mechanism, and I'm going to pretty much grind up as much of dust as humanly possible within a straight line in front of me. Let's see how this goes. Okay. I've never been more happy in my entire life. Alright, so once again, we are on the ludicrous mode, and let's go ahead and go back to the bloody mode, because I do want to show off just a little bit on what this does. So again, it's not as nasty, still not really like kid-friendly or anything, but let's go ahead and see what happens when we crush. Yeah, so there's not as much blood. The effects and sound effects are also a little bit lighter, but it's also a little bit cleaner too, so if you really want to get the least amount of lag possible, this might be the best choice. So interestingly enough, we didn't get any effect there when we did last time, so things have changed quite a bit. So here we actually did cut his hand off, and that's something that's really cool, is you can gib certain things and you can sever certain things as well. So let's go ahead and show this off. Okay, so that time it didn't do anything. But what about these guys? Kleiner, can we cut a limb off or something? Alright, so again, this is a very, not so insane version of the ludicrous mode. But we can step it up. We're going to brutal now. Let's see if we have any dramatic change here. So again, we cannot hit the already dead ragdolled enemies. And we have nothing going on here. So one thing I just realized is that we did end up going back to where we were. We want to enable live wounds because that's all the good stuff. And if you're using a weaker weapon, really crank up that damage multiplier because otherwise you're not going to get any results. Let's go ahead and try this out. Alright, so there we have the live wounds, and it's kind of hard to see, but we did sever him. As you can see, we kind of moved his body around a little bit. That's a really cool feature, I love that. Alright guys, enough dilly-dallying. Let's try the blender. Oh my god. So this isn't ludicrous, but we can see a lot more blood effects than we did last time. Alright guys, so spawned in a crap ton of Odessas, and I got the Infinity Gauntlet. Yay! It's going to be in every video now. But what I am going to do is show off some of the explosive ability. Oh my god. That was a bit more intense than I thought it was going to be. Okay, so the game crashed. I knew that was gonna happen. So one of the things I like, guys, I loved the gibbing system, I love the gore system, I love the adjustments you can make. You have a lot of things to change, like I just previously said. And I really love how it's nice and easy on your computer, so you don't have to have a super ham computer, as I stated as well. Overall, a very high quality mod, and I love this, so good job TFA. So now onto the things I don't like, and I know this is going to be very obvious because it is stated in the description, and this defies the whole purpose of the mod, but you cannot interact with the bodies once you have killed them. So if you do decide to want to kind of throw them around or toss them in something, it's just not going to work. Also, the wounding system is a little iffy sometimes, like you can wound them, but yet it's kind of like a weird filter. It's not too much of an issue because it does do the job well, and it's a good illusion, but pretty much it just seems like you're just putting a weird area that you can just kind of look into their bodies through. It doesn't really look exactly like a wound, but it's definitely good enough. But anyway, it's a very good mod, so if you guys were looking for the gore mod or a gibbing mod that had all the features you wanted but was lightweight, this is definitely the one to check out. So I'd go ahead and check it out if I were you, and that's going to conclude this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video, please go ahead and click that like button. Also subscribe to see more mod showcases like this. But that's pretty much it, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Go ahead and follow my Discord and my Patreon and all that weird stuff I have in my description. And my Twitter. Follow me on Twitter for show. But anyway, guys, suggest mods in the comments. You know what to do. I'll see you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching, guys. For real. And I'll see you in the next video. Until next time, farewell!